comfortable spot. We got high school football and it's coming out hot. Now here we are and the lights are shining bright. Always been. Yeah, WAAY 31 is rocking all right.
Big game Friday night. Max Cohan, Trevor Denton.
It's the McCurry Van and Car Rental. Big game Friday night.
Two teams, one playoff spot. It's a battle to be the last one in between Randolph and Madison County in our big game Friday night game of the week.
Well, back here in Huntsville, it's the Panthers and Falcons. Two teams trying to make sure they play an 11th game as they go toe-to-toe in our rivalry game of the week.
Hello and welcome into the Week 8 edition of Big Game Friday Night. You know us by now. I'm Max Cohan and he's Trevor Denton. And we are halfway through the final month of the regular season. And nights like tonight just make that playoff picture a little bit clearer.
Yeah, that's right. In 4A Region 8, things have been tight really all season long. Plainview and Madison Academy, they've been at the top of the pack. But North Jackson, Randolph, and Madison County have also all put together solid seasons. The problem is only 4 of that 5 group of teams can make the postseason.
And tonight in Gurley, the Raiders and Tigers battled, knowing that a loss would crush their chances of playing in November. Madison County has not reached the postseason since 2022. Randolph has made it 5 years in a row, and the Raiders looking for a big gainer early, but this one's going the other way. Landon Leo's pass is picked by Caleb Harbin, and the Tigers take over. Now Madison County on the attack. Micah Woodall sends it out to Caden Owen, and the freshman gets a block and rumbles for a big first down. Here comes the point. When you got a guy like Keontae Hill, you give it to him, and the sophomore makes it look easy on the score, but Randolph has a dangerous running back too. David Lloyd goes to the jukebox and presses Ju6 and gives me a little Johnny Be Good. Go Johnny Billions with yet another long touchdown run, and who needs short runs when you can flip the field on every touch? Braden Cross takes the direct snap straight across midfield and doesn't stop until he's brought down inside the 5. And the Tigers have a few guys that are true two-way stars. Harbin belongs on that list. Make that an interception and a touchdown on his ledger tonight. Now, later in the half, Randolph looking to get back in the end zone, and you can't really draw it up any better than this. Leo with time, he's going to take a long shot to George Newman. He hauls it in at about the 7, but just refuses to go down, walking in for the touchdown, and the Raiders will be walking into November as they win 38-14.
We feel great. I thought we had a good week of practice. Our guys came out and did a really good job. We knew we needed to be the more physical football team, and I think definitely in the second half we were. So really happy with the way our kids played. Always great to get a win, especially one with playoff implications on the line. So really excited for our guys.
Man, games like that are what make high school football so fun. You really never have any idea what's going to happen until they turn those lights on. This was a big win for Randolph. They keep that playoff streak alive, and obviously an unfortunate way for it to end probably for Madison County.
Important game. Both squads had intensity entering tonight. David Lloyd said if you can't get up for a matchup like that, you don't belong in high school football. Well, they got up for this matchup there tonight and delivered when it mattered most. And there's another region, Max, that is very, very tight. 4A Region 8, of course, is one of those. But let's also move up to 7A and check things out in Region 4. Sparkman enters the night on the outside looking in, but a win over Grissom would keep them in the discussion at least. We saw some power running in the game of the week you just saw. The Senators also have a Jerome Bettis-like bruiser. Waylon Marbury knows the way. He bounces outside, then churns his feet for a massive gain before finally getting dragged down around the 1-yard line. Now, can Waylon find his way in? He trucks one defender, then drags 2 more Tigers with him to the end zone. Unlike in Washington right now, you can't shut these Senators down. That's a touchdown. Start of the second quarter, Joshua Nalon lays one out for Cameron Reynolds. Yet another spark of a play for the Sparkman Senators. They take the dub 40-14. Now at the start of the season, it looked like Bob Jones was going to be a real problem. Then the Pats won 4 straight games and seemed like the team to beat, but they lost 4 in a row after that. Tonight, Kelvis White's squad looked to stop the roller coaster and end the skid against Albertville. The Patriots haven't lost to the Aggies since their first meeting back in 1994. Bob Jones has this receiver named Reese Dorsey, and he's so good with the ball in his hands. Sometimes just give it directly to him. Here he keeps it on the read option, and find some space for a first down. The South Florida Bulls are going to get a very good player at the college level next year. That's where Dorsey's going to college. Here, he's going straight to the end zone, some good blocking, and look at the top end speed. Off to the races. He goes and high-fives the student section and celebrates with his quarterback, Jacoby Gill. Great day for him and great day for Bob Jones as they win this one 48-0. At the top of that region, surprise, surprise, it's the Austin Black Bears. Jeremy Perkins' squad looking to win yet another region title, but Juan Johnson's Jets were trying to beat them and keep their own playoff hopes alive.
Yeah, the Black Bears had won 3 straight games against Chad McGee's Jets, but this is a new era on County Line Road, and the Jets pull out a massive 33-31 win. Out in Fort Payne, the Wildcats looking to clinch their second straight title as they hosted Hazel Green, a program that just made a coaching change, and they get it done, winning 38-12. Staying in the region, both Mae Jemison and Buckhorn hoping to keep their strong seasons going in November, but tonight they'd have to get through each other. The Bucks have won every game in this series since 2020. Quarterback Parker Turley getting it out to Izzy Cooper, and Cooper shaking and baking, but he's not going to find the end zone this time. Still pretty nice moves he's got there. A little bit later, Turley looking for Cooper again. This time it's picked off. Xavier T grabs it for the Jags. Another nice play, but not too much offense going as the trend continues. The Bucks win tonight 6-0.
Around North Alabama, the Hartsfield Tigers have easily been one of the best teams all season. Burt Newton's squad is undefeated still, and their closest game they've played was decided by 14 points. But guess what? They got tested tonight facing Jasper, a team with just 1 loss on the season. But the Tigers are able to make that 2 losses for them as they win 17-14. And get this, Hartsfield scored the go-ahead touchdown with 8 seconds to go. What a thriller out there in Jasper. Well, time for my first water break of the night, but don't go anywhere.
We're heading out to Milton Frank Stadium for our rivalry game of the week right after the break.
Stay tuned for more Big Game Friday night.
back, everybody. The Huntsville Panthers have been one of the most interesting teams all season. Jimmy Gay's squad opened the year with 3 straight wins, and then they knocked off Austin for the first time since 2022.
But the Florence Falcons have been just as wild. Kenny Morrison's team lost 3 of their first 4, then won 3 straight region games. So who would get it done tonight? Let's head out to Milton Frank Stadium, where Paige Meyer has our recap of the rivalry game of the week.
Tonight, both the Falcons and the Panthers put up quite a fight here at Milton Frank Stadium. With a pretty even back and forth first half, Florence ended up pulling forward in the second, taking the game 45-29. The Huntsville Panthers start this one, and a few plays in, they're gaining some yards now with Armin Settlers breaking through the pack. But as he tries to get his team some more yards, he's taken down now by Bo Bursky. The Falcons defense holding strong with Derek Peters Jr. coming from the side, sacking Wyatt Smith. But Huntsville was able to break through. Settlers with the ball again, pushing into the end zone for the first score of the night. After some empty drives, the Falcons have possession of the ball now, and it's passed to John Carter Goolsby. He takes that ball and he runs all the way to the end zone to tie up the game. And boy, was he excited. Huntsville with the ball now. I thought that 2 had it here, but it was passed to Xavier Drake. He manages to get out of the pack, giving his team some yards here, almost going all the way before the Falcons catch up. That takes us to the second quarter. We swap sides now just in time for Huntsville to push their way into the end zone for their second touchdown of the night. It's now Florence's turn for redemption, but the Panthers make them work for it. They get some yards here, and that leads us to Cade Davis passing the ball to Pearson as he leaps into the end zone, just barely securing the touchdown, bringing us 14-14 at the half. But Florence pushed through that second quarter, bringing the final score 45-29 at the end of the fourth.
Well, I'm feeling great. I'm so proud of these young men. I mean, obviously on the TV, you're going to see me smiling ear to ear. I'm happy for our young men. They played their guts out, and they never wavered under adversity. When we were down, they just kept fighting. With an opportunity to win a region championship for this school and this community is huge in 7A. It's been a long time coming, but we got Sparkman next, really good football team. So we've got to get ready to play. Got to worry about Florence, and we got to go practice and get better.
With a pretty busy second half, Florence ended up taking this one 45-29. Reporting in Huntsville, Paige Meyer, WAAY 31 Sports.
98 straight losses. The Columbia Eagles looking to put the historic skid to bed against Athens, but Cody Gross's special teams weren't going to let that happen. The Eagles trying to punt to the Golden Eagles, but Landon Buttleman blocks it, and Athens recovers the ball in the end zone for a touchdown. Sammy Coates hoping he has the answer somewhere on the play sheet, but nothing is going to stop Xavier Edwards when he gets going, and with that score, Athens is up 21-0. Coach Gross not taking his foot off the gas, and there goes Zay again. He is in, and that makes it 35-0. Athens shows no mercy as the Golden Eagles hand Columbia their 99th consecutive loss, 64-14. Scottsboro pulled off the big upset over Guntersville last week to take the top spot in the region. Tonight they had to beat Arab if they wanted to keep it. Squad playing their final region game of the year, and why not start it with a bang? Oh, well, that's actually not the right game. That is a different game. There we go. Okay. All right. So again, Tyler Van's squad hoping to start things with a bang. So why not go to the opening kickoff? Quincy Franklin hauls it in on his own 20-yard line, sprints to the left, makes a cut, and no one's going to catch him. 80 yards for the score. It's 7-0 Wildcats. Arab trying to get right back in it, and they're having some trouble with the Scottsboro defense, but check this out. Luke Hudson's going to get the ball, and he's going to shake off 1 tackle, 2 tackles, 3 tackles, make it 4 before they pull him down, though the Knights would be unable to score there. Scottsboro, on the other hand, having no problem getting back in the end zone. It's Connor Vaden heading right your way, and he is a goner. A 25-yard score that puts them up 14-0. Scottsboro wearing the region crown tonight as they get the 28-7 dub.
Guntersville and Boaz are both going to the playoffs, but seeding still has to be determined in that region. Both teams entered the night with only one loss. Guntersville was up 24-3 at the half, so WAAY's head coach Luke Pruitt pointing to what the Pirates should do. Go on the ground. Bo Bennett hands it off to Presley Fant, who runs it up the gut, and then a nice one-legged hurdle for the touchdown. Wildcats can't get in the end zone next drive, so they'll kick it over there instead. Brandon McInerney. This guy's been awesome for a couple years now. A 43-yarder. Plenty of extra room, too, on the field goal. WAAY would score again to pull within 10, so Guntersville runs the clock on the ground. Street Smith, is he down? No, down at the half-yard line. 2 plays later, backed up to the 6 after a flag, and this time Street Smith leaves zero doubt about it. Guntersville wins a big region matchup, 34-17. Some revenge over an upset from last year.
That's right. And we've got to call one more timeout, but don't go anywhere.
Yeah, we're taking a look at our defensive play of the day right after the break.
Stay tuned for more Big Game Friday nights. Go Knights!
This right here.
Another absolutely electric performance from one of the bands. They bring it every week. You know,
Yeah.
There's a reason that they have band practice. You got to practice like the athletes. And, you know, I could perform 0 of those instruments as well as they're performing those.
Oh, we
Just
know.
like I could throw 0 touchdown passes if you put me in pads right now.
We know that as well.
Well, I didn't say it was up for debate. But
Yeah,
you know
but
what? That's okay.
It was cool, though, because Madison County, they had senior night, so not only for the players, but also a lot of the band members, cheerleaders, everybody got recognized as well. So special night over there in Gurley.
That's good stuff. And, you know, we've seen a lot of awesome offensive plays so far tonight, but we've always got to show the defense and special teams some love.
Yeah, let's head back out to Milton Frank Stadium for just an incredible job by Athens to not only block the punt, but recover it for a touchdown. You can see the disappointment on the opposing sideline as Landon Buttleman's hand getting in there. It might have hurt a little bit after the block, but pain is temporary and wins are forever.
Here in Madison County, the Madison Academy Mustangs have been sprinting towards the playoffs. Bob Godsey's squad lost their season opener, but they've won every game since. Tonight they traveled to Joe Davis Stadium for a meeting with JP2. The Mustangs looking to move to 4-0 all-time against the Falcons, and it feels like every week we're talking about the insane play of Charleston Owens, and the quarterback gave us another reason tonight. He sees a gap, doesn't waste a second, and the sophomore sprints down the sideline and has just one man to beat.
Wow.
There he goes, another long run for Owens, and the Mustangs put 6 on the board. Coach Godsey upset after they failed the point-after attempt, but he'd have more to complain about after the Falcons marched down the field. Joey Ross going deep for Mark Andrzejewski, and the senior makes the snag, stays on his feet, and scores. A flag was thrown, so he's got to check with the official, and after a second of waiting, he can celebrate, and yeah, he's pretty pumped up. Just like that, Kevin Crehan has his team in front, but that was just the start. Now in the second, JP2 in the red zone, Ross rolling on the option, and he flips it out to Andrzejewski, who does the rest. Believe it or not, the Falcons have a 7-point lead. Now, remember how we said Owens does something insane every week? Well, he had another highlight reel moment right here as he shows off the speed again, going from one sideline to the other and making it all the way inside the 10 to set the Stangs up with a golden opportunity. I mean, what are you supposed to do to stop that guy? When he's got that speed and that kind of movement, I don't know what you're supposed to do.
You don't always see that at the quarterback. Man, finally getting dragged down. You don't see that at the quarterback spot often.
Insane. So Daniel McCauley would finish the job fighting his way in for 6. Godsey would send his guys out for the 2-point conversion, and they would grab a 1-point lead, and eventually they'd win by a whole lot more, taking it 48-29. The North Jackson Chiefs started the season red hot, but tonight they needed a win over Westminster Christian to hang on to their playoff spot and end that skid, and they get it done, winning 34-16.
I think this is one of the biggest stories in North Alabama. A 7-0 start for Plainview, but Dale Pruitt has the Bears playing some good football in Rainsville for sure. Tonight they had the chance to go to 8-0 for the first time since 1999 as they took on a struggling New Hope squad, and the Bears keep it rolling 48-7. And speaking of red hot teams, the West Morgan Rebels, of course, haven't lost a game since November of last year. Tonight, they look to pick up win number 8 this season as they made the trip out to Central. No issues for them at all. And they got quite the roster over there, quite the skill positions as well. They went 57-19. All right, we've got one more timeout left.
Stick with us. We're heading out to the Shoals right after the break.
Stay tuned for more Big Game Friday night.
one game for one spot. Tonight, Lauderdale County and Rogers met in the type of game every coach tries to prep their team for, a contest where winning is the only path forward.
The Tigers won 49-0 when these teams met last year, and they were off to the races again. Tonight, Curtis Ritter fakes the handoff around the right side, and that's a foot race he's going to win for a Lauderdale County touchdown. The next time he's under center, he's actually going to hand it off, and next time, it's Nathan Adams' turn. The sophomore will sprint, and he will end up just a bit short of the end zone, but the Tigers would still find a way to claw their way in. It's Calvin Watkins making it look easy. Now, Rogers would fight hard, but Lauderdale County would take their booty, clinching a playoff spot with the 39-37 dub.
Hate it when your booty gets stolen. And of course, we can't forget about Morris Hill, the Panthers, with nothing but wins on their record. Tonight, they look to keep it going against Colbert Heights. The Wildcats started the season with 5 straight wins, but followed it up with a 3-game skid. You know the drill by now. On Fridays, the Morris Hill Panthers wake up, go to school, then destroy people on the football field. Christian O'Rear, one of the many weapons at their disposal, defenders everywhere, and he never goes down on the long run. Now we watch their defense get to work. A claw of Panthers. That's what a group of Panthers is called, apparently. According to
learn something new
AI
every day,
or something.
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's right. But he wrestles them to the ground. Morris Hill beats Colbert Heights 55-0. That's how it goes over there in Florence. Down in 1A, Woodville was looking for a win to win the region title, but in the end, the Eagles shut out the Panthers 62-7. So different result for those Panthers.
And North Sand Mountain was looking to stay unbeaten, but the Raiders get crushed. The Raiders crushed the Bison, winning 42-27. Now it's time that we say thank you to everybody that helps make this show possible, and of course to all of the viewers for making us your home for high school football. And of course, just like every week, there's one thing that we need to give you before we go.
Yep, it's the best catches, the best runs, the best interceptions. You know what it is, our top highlights of the week.
We'll see you next week.
You have been watching a special presentation of WAAY 31.